This is a person. You get the idea. A person. The more you get to know a person, the more you can see their dimensions. And the deeper you go, the more you understand the person. And then the more you understand yourself. Because you are also a person. People like us, we are many things. We wear many masks. And sometimes people only see one of our masks and are tricked into thinking that that one mask is a whole person. But we are many things and we wear many masks. If you can really show somebody your many masks, they will start to understand the person beneath the mask. And one thing I love about the artist Tim Heidecker is that he shows all of his masks with such commitment that people who see them are convinced that that mask is him. But on his new album, Tim Heidecker's Fear of Death, the music pulls us past his many characters and facades and asks us this basic question that we return to over and over again. What's gonna happen to us? And how much time do I really have left?
Nothing, that's what it amounts to, they say. A black void waiting down the road for us one day. We're all gonna die alone. There ain't nobody gonna carry us home, and there ain't no place where the angels roam. You're always presenting yourself. You're putting on a performance, and you are performing, and that is, you know, who am I when I'm just alone? I'm just a log. You know, I sit there and I stare at the wall, or I worry about things, or I, you know. So, and I think we put on performances for all kinds of different reasons for different kinds of people, but there's less of a wearing a mask, less of a hiding behind a character in the music. I've certainly done records that are in character and have made funny records and sort of records from a point of view that's not me. But this is coming from me. This is like a little peek into kind of what I'm thinking about right now. Which, you know, I guess you could say that's in everything I do anyways, because it's coming from me, but it's not really a character.
Fear of death is keeping me alive. Fear of death is keeping me alive. Fear of death is keeping me alive.
I had these songs, I had like 4 or 5 songs in my songs folder that I wasn't sure what I was going to do with, if I was going to do, I didn't know if I was going to make another album or what the plan was. And I met this guy, Drew, at a Wise Blood show, and he had been recording with Natalie and playing with her. And he said, hey, I could get you guys in the studio together like on Monday. And this was like on Thursday. And it happened so quickly. He's just also Drew Erickson, who co-produced this with us. So casual, so loose, and just like, hey, you know, Lemon Twigs are in town. We should have them come by and play. And I'm like, what am I dying? Like, is this my Make-A-Wish Foundation? So it was that attitude. It was so spontaneous, and I think if we had planned it, it wouldn't have worked out as well, you know. Trying to do as much of it live as possible, in the room with people, recording on tape, and, you know, making it not something that you feel too stressed out about. And I think Natalie certainly had that. You know, Lemon Twigs came in for 2 sessions, and like, they're so good. They just like, oh, let me add some harmonies.
I don't like, so maybe.
They're just like savants. They're total musical geniuses. All the stuff I do that sometimes leans dark, you know, the atmosphere on set is always the opposite of that. We're in the studio. We don't get drugged down by the subject matter. We don't wallow in it or anything. I think there were a couple times, I think maybe Natalie was not, she was like, oh shit, this record's fucking serious. Like, and I think people probably playing on it too didn't know really, weren't thinking about it too closely. And it was only after, and it was only, even for me, it was only after that I thought like, oh yeah, there's some themes running through this record that I should acknowledge.
Shopping for a suit for the big premiere. Nobody can tell me how I got here. I'm looking real good, but I'm filled with fear.
In the morning, I've been walking a lot, and I'll walk and just, instead of listening to music or a podcast, I'll just like think about the project. And then always something comes out of that. But I don't think you can just sit and think about it. I'm always learning about cameras and microphones and how to edit. And I went for a long time without really knowing how to edit, even though, not knowing the software. Like I know what to do. I know what works and stuff, but the actual software and the mechanics of recording, and I taught myself how to do recording at home, and I'm not the best at any of that stuff at all, but I have enough knowledge of it that I can make something that sounds okay, or can edit something okay, and that really gives me a lot of freedom to try things and to put things out that might normally not, that might not be the best thing ever, but at least I get it out of my system and I learn about what is good about that or what's not good about that. It's been driving me nuts is there's a couple radio shows that want me to send in some live material. I might do a late night show, who knows, but what's really frustrating is like to do some home recording of me sort of live in my studio. It's really hard to especially do it alone without an audience, because I'm just not that great of a guitar player, and I'm trying to be interesting with the playing, and I've been trying to do it. I've been sitting up here going, all right, I'm gonna try to do a song off the new record and record it, and I always fuck up a line or a lyric, or I hit the wrong note, and I don't think that would happen if I was playing it in front of people. I think I just have to get in the habit of coming down here like every day and running the set of whatever I want to do live, and just run it 4 times, and then just eventually it'll start locking in as a muscle memory thing.
Tim's very modest about his music, but still unafraid to spend a lot of time working on it and put himself out there. And I think this is because after many years of making unconventional shows and codifying his own style of comedy, he knows how it feels to explore new creative territory. And fucking up is just part of that. I think that's why Tim has managed to stay unpredictable and keep making work that's bursting with energy. And it's also why his music is so good.
There's this orthodoxy about what you're supposed to do in comedy and how you're supposed to behave, and I've never followed any of those rules because it's just not interesting to me. It's not why I'm doing this. It's always about, doing what I feel like doing. When I did In Glendale, that record, I thought the excuse I gave myself was that should be what people expect, is there to be something out of left field coming from me. And that thing that was out of left field was my own sincerity, or my own self-reflection about who, somebody wrote me the other day, I don't know, it was very, very critical, but he, it was like, man, imagine if we knew what kind of music Andy Kaufman liked, how it would have ruined our perception of him. I'm like, I don't give a shit about that. And I also think that Andy Kaufman died when he was, I think, 35 or 37 or something. And I am fairly certain that he would have dropped that shtick when he turned 40. It would have been like, his new angle would have been, get to know the real Andy Kaufman,
One day But it's alright, don't listen to me. I could be wrong, let's wait and see. But if you see me in heaven, just let me be. If you see me in heaven, just let me be.